Welcome, 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 welcome. Give people time to hop on up in here real quick. What's good? It is Monday. It is Monday. For those that's gonna run it back real quick, as we always do here. This is the after party. We just left from the actual recording of the podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got something from it. People are coming in. So real quick, Gabby, Samaria, how's y'all day been? How's the day been going for you?
It's been good, It's Monday. It's a good Monday. It's not
That's
the
a good
normal
one.
Monday. It's a good Monday.
Good deal, good deal. And look, y'all, we got Gabby from the New York City. What's good?
Child, don't let these don't fool these people, baby. I'm up the street in Olive Branch right now. Okay.
The
I
the
will not
infamous.
I will not be in the ghetto until the end of the month. I'm still I'm still in the palace.
But real quick, how
Right.
was your first visit to New York? How was it welcoming?
It wasn't my first visit, so I'm happy that you asked me that. My
Okay.
first visit was last year, and it was cool. New York is a cool city. To be honest, this is gonna sound real crazy, but I tell everybody who asks me like how easy, it's literally like a whole bunch of South Memphis is put together. Like everywhere you go, it's the ghetto.
Yeah, the rest be gang banging too.
Very
I know
much so. They would
they be
talk to you, have a conversation with you, and steal from you all at the same time. But
yeah,
yeah, New York is cool. New York is cool. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. So I
good
give
deal.
y'all an update.
Good deal, good deal. Well, hey, hopefully again for those of you all that's hopping into the after party, Nadia, she won't be able to make it tonight. Pastor Deloach, he will be here. He's jumping back and forth between meetings. That's how busy he is. It's college weekend slash college weekend, so a lot going on. So he's a very busy man. But real quick, how many of you all were able to get some up out of there? It's season three. You all did you all enjoy the first opening for season three? I know I got a lot out of it just rewatching it. Some things that Nadia said, that Chuck said, that Samaria said, that was just like, wow. Any things that caught you all that you want to bring up, throw out there, anything that you think, you know, that stood out to you that you said or that you heard. And then also those of you that's watching, throw it in the chat, throw us some questions, throw us some whatever it may be. Just keep the discussion going because we here with y'all in the after party. So I throw the mic over there to you, Gabby and Samiri, whichever one want to take it.
Go ahead, Sam. Sam, you got it. I believe in you.
Child, first of all, I'm just now figuring out how you see the comments. Ooh wee.
It's okay.
Someone said, yes, pick up joy. Yes, pick it up. Pick it up. Take that negative thing, place it down, and pick up the positive thing. Because I had to do that this morning. I was like, ooh, I want to go to work. It's that last week before spring break. The children gonna be out. As an educator, that last little week is like, woo. You really want to be negative. You really want to be tired and all of that. But today, I chose to put the negative way down and pick up that joy. Even when folks made me mad, even when the children made me mad, I was like, all right, let me pick up that joy. Let me pick up that peace. Let me pick up that compassion. Because you got to have compassion for these
Mm,
people that are hurting you and that are like making you mad or whatever the case may be, offending you. You got to pick up that compassion because you will want that compassion back.
wow. Hey,
I
that's
feel
right.
that. I feel that. I think one thing, just when I think about church hurt, is the fact that one thing that's like always been said in different circles that I've heard it in is that a church is a place for broken people, and so when people come to the church, um they expect healing to happen and everything, and so if and just being practical, if all of these broken people are coming to one place, how can we not expect hurt and healing to happen in the same place? Um, and I think they definitely coincide. I mean, even Jesus talks to the disciples and tells them, if your brother offends you 7 times in a day, you must forgive him. However many times he offends you, you still must forgive him. And so, um, I think that is like, it just coincides with what you said, Sam, about picking up joy and releasing everything else that you got going on. Last year, my favorite thing to say at church was, the Lord calls us to lay our burdens down, to cast our cares, but He never tells us to pick them back up. We choose to do that. And so, when you choose to pick up joy, you must have so much of it that you cannot let it. If you let it go, then and you choose to pick up something else, then that was your choice. But you have to have so much of it that you hold on to it, and your hands are too full to go pick up anything else. So
Oh yeah, I
yeah.
like that. You said something, two things. You are in the place of the church, the assembly of the people. You can't expect hurt people and heal people that are healing to not clash or not come together. But the ironic part is, how do you identify those type of people? And I think sometimes that goes back to the expectation, right? Like, hey, because people can we do a good job, like Chuck said on the call, like we do a good job of acting like we heal. Like we act like we done got over whatever that situation was. We good. It don't bother us no more. But it just shows back up in other forms, or it shows back up in other ways. And then we continue to carry that thing. And then it's like you all said, do we really put it down? And I think sometimes we pick it back up because not just because we don't have the joy, but I think we pick it back up because we like, God, you taking forever to handle this situation. Like, and then how you think about a person that hurt you. Let's be honest. How you think about a person that hurts you, your mindset is like, God, I need you to strike them down. Make them feel the same thing that they made me feel. And because of that, that's why I think we get it mixed up. We lie to ourselves like we heal. But if ever we have that thought about somebody that hurt us, then we have not healed yet. Like we have not gotten to a place where we can operate in that proximity of that person being in the same space as us. And we have to be honest with ourselves and stop lying to ourselves like, oh, we good. Because again, like I said about that barbecue, when that person show up and you can't eat that smoked sausage and that good old mashed potatoes and whatever else y'all have at y'all barbecue, that pork that you don't need, but that's neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? The point I'm trying to put out there, man, is that like I think we don't do a good job of being honest with ourselves.
Agreed. Fully agreed. And I think I definitely talked about this on there. I think we all have been there at a point where we let pride come before, you know, everything else. What it say? Destruction. What the Bible say, y'all? Pride come before the fall. That right there, and we don't fail every time at the barbecue, every time. And I think that um, really being open. You know something? I have started to realize people are not vulnerable with themselves, and that's why they cannot be honest and vulnerable with other people. And that's how people get stuck in these situations where you are acting healed instead of being healed. And it's the same thing, when people say God cannot bless a fake version of you, He cannot heal a fake version of you either. God changes people. People don't change people. God does that. That's His job. It's not y'all's. You can have influence, but you know what I'm saying? I think we really do have to do better as Christians, as quote unquote church people, with having open, relationship and form with people and decorum with people, and saying, be honest with yourself, be honest with God, and then come and be honest with me. And that is how, we can share in our testimony and then, overcome it that way.
I like exactly what you said, and then it jumps right into this question that Miss Thompson got for us. Hey, Allison, hopefully you having a good night. She said, "Do we cast all our cares or just some of them?" That I'm gonna answer that, being totally transparent and honest. Just some of them. Be like, God, I give you this one, but this one right here, I'm gonna hold on a little bit tight to because I don't think I'm ready to go through the process of what that looks like, and I can attest to it. I don't like having hard conversations, and I don't because I don't know what's gonna come from it. The one time in my life I decided to have a hard conversation and I put my heart out there, I allow myself to be vulnerable. The reaction that came back, the response that came back to me was like, I'm over that. But it's like, how can you be over there, but you continue to have the same reaction or the same energy when I come around? And so from then on, I just shied away from hard conversations because I'm so focused on the response. I'm so focused on the result. But then I heard Reggie Sharp say something that was so cool. It's not about the response, but it's about the relief. And I was like, wow, because it's something heavy that you're carrying and you so much worried about giving that to somebody else and hoping that they can carry it for you, but they drop it and you're like, dang, I was just vulnerable with you and you just dropped something that I sincerely put in your hands. And the truth is that goes back to picking up their joys because hey, I should have never take that burden to that person. No way. Have that conversation, but get the relief so I can put it in God's hand, not so much that person's hand, and expect a certain response from them.
I was just talking about this Sunday. Literally was just talking to a friend about this Sunday. I was like, okay, so what is it about the things that you want to, these hard conversations that you're holding on to? What is it? And the reality is the response, but that goes back to the thing of expectations. You're expecting someone to give back to you what you would give to them. But if they didn't give back to you what you gave to them in the first place, that expectation should already be gone because they didn't give it to you in the first place. And you thought, oh, maybe if I say it again, I'll get the response I want. No, that's not how it's going to work.
They heard you the first time.
Thank you. They heard you. They still don't care. They still don't have no compassion. They still are not concerned about your feelings. But with that, it's like those hard conversations I'm learning this year to just have them. Because even with God, just have them, even with the fear. You can have a conversation and still have a little fear. You can have a little shaking in your boots. You can still have that conversation because again, you don't know how people are going to react. And I I really be like, oh, I hope this person not reacting da 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 da. But 9 times out of 10, if I've already been like, okay, God, I'm about to do this, just guide me and cover me as I be vulnerable and I like express what I'm feeling or express how something made me feel. In the response, it's not nearly as bad as it is. It may not be what I want it to be, but because I released it into the atmosphere, that was the start of my healing, that was the start of my peace. And instead of that pride that you were talking about, Gabby, I replaced that pride with peace. I let my pride go and I gained some peace because I put it into the atmosphere and I let it be known type deal.
I think something that came to my mind is that when you're talking to somebody that really wants healing, it's when they're not so much reactive, but they're wanting the conversation to be proactive. And so it's like, all right, I'm going to set aside pride and we're going to have this conversation. And so that means you may say something to me that if I wasn't wanting healing, I probably would curse you out. We might throw some hands. But because I want to be proactive, but because I want this to go in a better direction, I'm willing to hear you say something to me that I really might not like. And so that's when you find out when you're having a conversation with somebody that wants healing. And then and you have to be sure of these things. You have to acknowledge this because guess what? When you're having those tough conversations, if that person is so much reactive, then they're not trying to heal from the situation. And then this is really when you got to let go and let God. Now that's not always easy to do, but it's in the moments you realize like if you so reactive and everything you just coming off emotion and it's yah this, rah 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 this, and it's like okay, we're not getting anywhere. This ain't going nowhere. You don't want healing. I do, but you don't. And so I guess in this moment in time, I got to heal in a whole nother proximity. Like, and I think that's something we have to be sure of. Are we having a conversation with somebody that really wants healing, or are we just, shooting the breeze?
The people, the
Uh-oh.
saints of God,
You
the
gonna take us to
children.
the ghetto?
No, I'm not gonna go to the ghetto.
Okay.
I think, I really think that truthfully, it all goes back to honesty. But some people have not experienced honesty before. And it sounds crazy to say people haven't been honest with you before. Not always. And I think that a lot of people hold on to uh untruths and lies a lot more than they hold on to the truth. So as much as you pick up joy, you have to pick up truth. Um Literally and figuratively. And when I say truth, I mean the word of God. And so I feel like, there have been so many instances in the Bible where truth has been said and people are very, very reactive. Number one, the first person I think about, and I hope I got this story right, is Peter cutting off homeboy ear, talking about Jesus like that. I'm not gonna say that Peter was just out here gangster, but there was something in Peter that was triggered enough to say instead of being like, hold on, let's talk about this. And I think that a lot of us in church have the same reactions. We are ready to cut people down before we actually hear what these people have to say. And you, Sam, you mentioned this word compassion. There are so many people on the face of this earth who do not know how to exhibit compassion because they literally have never seen it in their lives. And people walk around with so much pain and so much hurt because no one has never, like, simply said, admit, how are you doing? How can I help? How can I support? What, like, what's going on for real, for real. And so I think in the church, the one place where people come to experience, to be honest, to experience compassion, the church, especially the Black church, is supposed to be the pillar of the community. And so lately the pillar ain't been sitting so high. And this is just be big, like, truthful and real. I think that people really, like, we are really missing that compassionate piece because, we are called to, I hate using this word, but it's truth. We are called to judge to a certain extent. We are not called to judge like the Lord, but we are called to discern and judge to a certain extent in order to help people to, like, on their journey as Christians. And I think we have tried to take over what God is supposed to be doing for people rather than what we are supposed to be doing. So all of that, I said all of that to say people are triggered, people feel judged, and there is a lack of compassion in the church.
Yeah, I have to agree, especially when you say compassion. Like that's a word I don't think we use a lot. Compassion is like that gentle, like it's very gentle. It's the spirit of gentleness. It's like I can understand that what you did, was out of the blue or out of the way or out of characteristic, but I can give you enough love and compassion of understanding. Like, hey, I can put myself in a place to understand. Like that ain't always you, probably. You know what I'm saying? Like the saying with the sneakers, like you ain't you when you hungry. You ain't you when you hurt. You not you when you hurt, because that could be a version of the hurt version of you is a whole different version of you when you heal. It's two different versions. Some people have not met a healed version of themselves. Can I be honest? Some people have never seen what a healed version of themselves look like. I think about somebody that's probably you think about a victim that possibly been raped or, something taken from them that they didn't ask to be taken from them. And so they've been put in a position all their life, just trying to find a way. How do I get to a place where I can heal? And then we wonder why people get older and they carry that thing with them all their life. And it's that little person in them, that child in them, or that person in them that got hurt in whatever year it was, they still stuck there. So they body then time travel to 2023. But the hurt version of them is still, the mental part of them is still stuck in whatever year it was that it took place. And so a lot of people haven't had a chance. So we talk about being vulnerable, but a lot of people have not had a chance just to really sit with themselves and say, man, this is what I look like when I'm healed. This is what it feels like when I'm healing. Better yet, they just operating in hurt day to day. And that's because when you come to a place like church, a person that sees you in your hurt version of yourself should be able to give you compassion and understand, like, hey, this may be a season of your life, but here where you are now, Jesus has equipped all of us to be able to help each other get to a place in our life where we say, you know what, I feel like I'm starting to heal. I feel like whatever that trauma was, it don't got me bound no more. But here it is. Can I put this out there and then I throw the mic back to you all? A lot of people in church are not really connecting with each other in the sense of sincereness, but connecting with each other based off trauma bonding. So I went through something, you went through something, so now we can connect. But I throw the mic to you too.
Child. Mm. I don't have nothing to say to that, but to this comment on here that says someone taught me to practice speaking specific blessings over those people. Everything you think about what they, every time you think about what they did, that has helped my heart. This is so true because let me tell you, that is how I have gotten this far in my healing process. Anytime I started to feel hurt, the hurt that I felt or the anger that I felt towards a certain person, I started to pray over them and pray for their prosperity, pray for like God uplifting them, elevating them into a new place of life. And for some odd reason, when you start to pray, it's something that hits different on the inside. When you start to pray for someone who genuinely hurts you. Now, it's going to take a minute. I'm not saying this is going to happen easily. That is not what I'm saying. Please don't. Mm-mm. That is not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, over time, when you get to that place where you can say at least one nice thing about them, when that negative thought comes into your brain, and you just say, Lord, just bless them today. Allow them to make it home safely today. But it changes. He's here. It's, it really changes your heart posture and how you respond to things. And I want to what you were saying, like to the just what you were saying. Basically, I feel like it's a whole bunch of people unlearning the generational habits that they have been surrounded by all of their lives. And trying to break something that's been going on for generations is hard. It takes a lot of work. And no one likes the process. My pastor asked the question, do you trust God? Do you trust the process?
Uh-oh. I think we lost her for a second. We're gonna give her time to reboot. Reboot. I think we lost her. There you
There
go.
she go.
It's okay. The enemy didn't want you to put that out there. He seen you go.
Obviously not.
Yeah, he was like, you going too hard. But there you go. Pick it back up.
Basically, what my pastor said was he asked us a question. He said, do you trust God? Do you trust the process? Baby, them hands was like this. It's the process that people don't like because they know now I have to detach from what was my identity. And I now have to pick up an unknown identity because I'm allowing God to heal me. That's all I had to say before the enemy shut down my Wi-Fi again.
I understand. Well, real quick, because I know we got a little time. Oh yeah, we about to shut it down in a quick second, and then our brother Bishop Chuck, he done made it to the screen real quick. Got a big weekend. Please be praying for this brother. He got to preach 3 times this weekend at Brown Baptist. He got to make sure the whole college weekend, homecoming, it goes as planned. So he got he's carrying something heavy, but I know God got his back and we got his back. So definitely be praying for him. But real quick, to you, Sam, I will say you definitely in my journal because I just wrote about that after I went seeing Creed 3. But you'll find that out on Winning Wednesday. Just stay tuned. I'm writing about it on Winning Wednesday. But here it is, Chuck. Anything that stood out to you through the podcast from tonight that you want to just put out there real quick before we let the people go?
Yeah. What's up, y'all? My apologies for hopping on late. I trust that y'all conversation has been dope. But I would say, what stood out to me was I felt like all of us had. I think you saw all of us express in some shape, form, or fashion something that we all experienced over the last recently. I feel like it was a very fresh conversation, and the authenticity of it was real. We don't fake the hype there. Like it was a real conversation. And just even that, just opening the door for spaces for those conversations to still be had, can answer a lot of questions to our generation who has a lot of questions about church, right? You hear a lot of people having these thoughts but don't know where to place them. And I think that we had a great way of expressing our thoughts in a place, right, to where we can understand each other, and just the equality and equity that we as a team had in discussing this topic. We all had just, it wasn't like rambling. We were straight to the point. And I'm telling y'all, we did not rehearse that. That was just the Lord allowing us to be present in that moment, but then also hearing each other. I think if you give time for God to give you that space, right, and for other people hearing that podcast, I think that, that's the grace that God gives us, right, when we decide to make the step to talk or to listen. And so I thank all of you all for tuning in, and even just being willing to share your story, whether it was detailed or whether it was broad. The Lord worked through it. It fell on somebody's fertile ground, and it's going to grow and be a beautiful flower one day. So y'all keep doing what y'all do.
And I appreciate you, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you to each of you all that have tuned in, that's hung out with us at the after party. Again, it don't stop. We still got a lot going on. As you can see, like I said, it's college weekend. Pastor Deloach will be preaching. We got a tailgate on Saturday. What else do we have? Step show, all that good stuff. Come hang out, come be a part of what Brown has going on, and also get a chance to be introduced to the Genesis College Ministry. Pivot, we definitely will be supporting, because that is our brother, sister. And so we gonna make sure that we support them. And you all, the next think tank, go ahead and send them questions, and you can send them in at BMBC at Young Adults on Instagram, or you can send them to our Facebook page, wherever it is at, because the topic is church dropouts. Church dropouts. You don't want to miss it. It's almost like a part two to what we discussed tonight. We're going to get there. And guess what? Gabby will be in the building, and her and Sam together with Nadia, I think it's going to be crazy. I can't wait to see this. I can't wait to see what comes from it. But you all stay tuned. And as we always say in the world of Pivot, stay safe and protect yourself.